Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is an open-world action-adventure game developed and published by Rockstar Games, which released October 26, 2018 on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a prequel to 2010 smash hit Red Dead Redemption, and the third overall entry in the Red Dead series. You take the role of Arthur Morgan, the enforcer in Dutch van der Linde's notorious gang of outlaws. The story takes place in the year 1899, 12 years before the events of the first Red Dead Redemption. After a botched ferry heist in Blackwater, the gang is forced to retreat from their hideout and lay low from the lawmen on their trail. The band of renegades have to constantly move from post to post as to not draw any more heat from law enforcement. Morale is really low and the gang is pulling a string of scores just to be able to sustain themselves. Dutch is plotting the next big job to get the gang back up on its feet. The story is riveting and has the marquee Rockstar polish and flair that you would come to expect from this studio. Red Dead Redemption 2 has arguably created the greatest open world in any game to date, a quantum leap from its contemporaries this generation. The characters in Red Dead Redemption 2 feel so alive, unlike any other open world game that I've ever played before. They feel like much more than just robots, repeating the same task at the same time with the same sound bites over and over. The NPCs react to your hygiene, your appearance, your honor rank, and they'll remember you from previous encounters. You can approach the NPCs positively, or you can antagonize them, which makes for some really interesting interactions. Your in-game decisions can increase and decrease your overall honor rank. Whenever you help strangers, throw fish back into the water, disarm foes during duels instead of outright killing them, or make any contributions toward your camp settlement, you'll gain honor, which will grant you discounts at the stores and unlock certain outfits. Looting, killing, stealing horses, and other so-called dishonorable behaviors will lower your honor, but crime does pay. There's plenty of things to do and plenty to discover in this expansive world. You can play poker, blackjack, dominoes, five-finger fillet, hunt, fish, and attend local shows whenever you need a break from the main story. There are also hundreds of collectibles hidden and scattered all throughout the map. Those looking to 100% this game will definitely have their hands full. The frontier can be extremely unpredictable, with danger always looming around the bend. You can be ambushed by bounty hunters or pounced on by wild animals at any given moment. You never know whether that damsel in distress on the side of the road is truly helpless or a femme fatale trying to rob you with a gang of bandits. Whenever I boot up Red Dead Redemption 2, I'm thrown into numerous new scenarios, and while they all may be scripted, they all manage to feel organic and spontaneous. Whenever you run into trouble with the law, you can surrender, make a run for it, or go out in a blaze of glory. If you surrender peacefully, the lawman will put you in jail. Every once in a while, one of your fellow outlaws will actually come to bail you out. Whenever you kill someone, any civilians passing by the area will investigate the murder and raise your wanted level. It's best to either cover your tracks and hide the bodies, or leave the witnesses sleeping with the fishes. If you have a standoff with the police, you will have a bounty on your head in the area and will be targeted until you pay it off at the post office. Red Dead Redemption 2 introduces the core system, where you'll manage the health, stamina, and deadeye for Arthur, as well as the stamina and health of your horse. To replenish these stats, you will either have to consume tobacco, eat food, or drink the corresponding tonic. Sleeping, eating, bathing, and brushing your horse is a nice touch, but the constant micromanaging of your character and your horse can become a little overwhelming at times. If your character or horse becomes malnourished, your cores will drain more rapidly. You also lose your core faster if you don't wear the appropriate clothing for the climate. It takes a while before you're able to use fast travel, which also keeps the pacing of the start of the game at a crawl. The shooting mechanics can feel a bit janky at times, but the shootouts are still super fun. Landing those dramatic critical shots is always satisfying. Rockstar definitely achieves a sense of realism in this game, though sometimes to a fault. The game often put me in situations where I'd have to hitch my horse and use other forms of transportation for a mission, only to be out of whistling range and be stuck on foot for miles. Your horse can carry some of your cargo, including weapons, but the game constantly unequips Arthur's long-range arms, leaving them on the horse, making you feel like you brought a slingshot to a shootout. Graphically speaking, this is bar none the most impressive game I've ever seen in all my years of console gaming, with the utmost attention to detail, both subtle and overt. A few examples that I found throughout my playthrough were things like Arthur's facial hair growing in real time, mud and blood sticking to Arthur's clothing, wounds staying on Arthur's face after a tussle, riders dangling off the horse stirrup after being shot dead, and exit wounds on game that you've hunted. While these small details aren't mind-blowing individually, together the countless details in Red Dead Redemption 2 are surreal, and all come together to make this world feel incredibly immersive. There are fewer things more visually pleasing than riding through a prairie on horseback during the day-night cycle in crisp native 4K. Everything from the facial animations to the clothing fabrics to the environmental textures like snow, mud, and water all look extremely amazing. The Rage Engine's dynamic lighting effects look great and really capture that feel of the great outdoors, whether it be the haze of the sun reflecting from the trees or the mist of the starry moonlight. The voice acting is in a class all by itself, and it's complemented by some phenomenal dialogue.
We know a lot about you.
Do you?
You're a wanted man, Mr. Morgan. It's $5,000 for your head alone.
$5,000? For me? Can I turn myself in?
The size and scope of Red Dead Redemption 2 is absolutely staggering. Rockstar spared no expense or detail during the 8 years of development for this mammoth project. From a technical and graphical standpoint, this game is a benchmark and a marvel to behold, truly raising the bar for this generation. With so many unfinished games at launch these days, Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the most complete experiences you can have straight out of the box, and it has endless potential when its online functionality and additional DLC finally do roll out. I consider Red Dead Redemption 2 a bona fide classic, a masterpiece, and a serious contender for Game of the Year. I give Red Dead Redemption 2 an A. From all of us here at Rotten Apple Gaming, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. Click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next video.